All right, so here's the deal, okay? It's gonna be my Batman v Superman review. I have not watched Ultimate Edition. I've seen the parts of it though, and I can kind of piece together the movie from there, the parts that are tacked on and all that. This is going to be my review for it, but I'm going to title it something different. You'll see the title obviously, but I'm mostly going to talk about what I think could be improved upon in Batman v Superman because CinemaSins just came out with their video of it, and then I'm hearing about in honor of the Suicide Squad movie, which I have not seen yet. Today is August 4th. The movie I think comes out tomorrow for me. I'm going to talk about Batman v Superman because I'm reading a bunch of negative reviews, like average at best reviews for the Suicide Squad, and so I figured I think now would be a good time to talk about Batman v Superman. I'm going to try and keep this brief. I'm really tired of movie reviews that are like an hour long. I'm going to try and keep it brief. So here we go. What did I enjoy about Batman v Superman? Well, the plot. Let's start off with that. Well, basically, you got two sides of it. Really, you got Batman trying to pretty much kill Superman because he's a threat and he's trying to just put him down, and all these events during the movie that keep escalating that feeling that he has, and so now he's like motivated more than ever to take him down. And then you also got Superman, who's just trying to deal with humanity, just trying to deal with the dumbass ways of humans, just the stupid bullshit that comes with the package of being a human. At the same time, he's also going after Batman himself because just cause that's just kind of something they shoehorned in there. They needed that animosity at first. They didn't. They really didn't need that animosity. But Superman had pretty much no reason to hate Batman other than that when the prisoners got bat branded. Supposedly it was a death sentence in jail because one guy was killed in jail or something like that. I'm like, that's not really warranting a hate thing. They were going to do that anyway. You don't really need a bat brand to get that death sentence on you from the other inmates. But anyway, that's really it. And it's not even like the big Batman v Superman fight that you're expecting, because most of you have seen it by now. This is just going to be spoilers straight up. There's going to be no non-spoilers, straight up spoilers, right? This movie it's for the most part there's very little action in it, but it doesn't mean it's not really interesting. It's just not exciting. It's not exciting in the way that everyone wants it to be because it's a superhero movie, and that's fine. That's understandable, right? But that's not the reason to hate the movie. By far, it is not the reason to hate the movie. There are plenty of good reasons to hate the movie, and I understand them. I personally, right off the gate, I don't hate the movie. I actually kind of like the movie. The movie was pretty good to me. The classic thing that the movie has to take away from, everyone says it already, it's Ben Affleck's Batman. We started off hating him the most. We ended up liking him the most. In fact, we loved him the most. Everyone loved Ben Affleck as Batman. Everyone's excited to see his Batman in the superpowered universe with Superman and all these metahumans and stuff. People were like, okay, people who enjoyed Man of Steel, they liked Henry Cavill as Superman. People who didn't really like Man of Steel probably wouldn't have seen the movie in the first place. I mean, Henry Cavill was okay in the movie, but that's because it's not his fault. That's just the way he was written in the movie. There's nothing wrong with Henry Cavill's Superman. It's just the way he was written in this movie. It's a Batman movie. It's hardcore, and that definitely shows that Zack Snyder is meant to do a Batman movie. Now, please, don't let him. Because based on the reviews for Batman v Superman, much more than Man of Steel even, and the skepticism that people are seeing with him as the director of the Justice League, don't let him touch the Batman movie. Don't let him touch the Batman movie. Leave it to Ben Affleck. And who was Jeff Johns, I think it was, the main DC guy now. He's like one of the main writers. Leave it to them. They will get him like more right than Zack Snyder did in the movie, and he got Batman pretty right. The only thing he didn't really have right was the killing part, which doesn't bother me. Anyway, what can we do to fix it? Well, first I have to talk about the negatives. Like I said, this is spoiler alert. If you have not seen the movie, Ultimate or regular, do not watch this. You gone? You're gone. The whole ending of the movie, the whole third act was just fucking garbage. It was like I didn't hate it, okay, but calling it garbage doesn't help. But that's because it didn't help me restrain from calling it garbage because it was just so poorly written. You got the whole Martha thing, right? That's I've seen like John Campia's version of why he thinks that that scene is valid and the scene's okay. That may be so. The idea is there, but the way it was put on the screen, the stuff that we saw, total horseshit. The actual like your mom has the same name, my mom's name is Martha, horseshit. Okay, it's something. It's such a simple fix where it's like you don't need to point out the fact that both of their names are Martha. You know, that's more like a nod. You know, after this is the way I imagine the scene. Okay, you have Batman who has seen Superman as like nothing but just a terroristic alien, just this alien who just doesn't give a fuck about humans, right? Even though he saves several hundred, maybe several thousand, maybe several million humans, but it caused damage and just didn't seem to give a shit about the stuff in Man of Steel, right? So anyway, Batman sees him as like this alien who just doesn't give a shit and he needs to be put down, right? And now imagine when Batman is holding the spear. Do I have a spear here? Do I just happen to have a spear? Fuck it. Nope. Look at that focus. Wow. Look at that focus issue. Holy shit. There we go. Holy cow. Okay, this is the spear, right? When he's holding the spear, he says, why'd you say... Oh, shit. Why did you say that name? Why did you say Martha? You got Superman being choked. Save Martha! Why did you say that name? That's bullshit. Oh my god, it's so stupid. But the way I see it is Batman, as he's holding the spear, Batman hears or sees Superman have like a moment of humanity. Supposedly coming from an alien, first of all. And second of all, seeing that like Batman suffered the same trauma that this time it was like a plot because Superman has made enemies, namely Lex Luthor, obviously. Now Batman sees like there's definitely a human side. He has a mom, but Batman, like, you remember like right before Batman starts like swinging him around, he's like, my parents taught me that the life only has meaning if you force it to, something like that. And he says, I don't know what your parents taught you. He says that to Superman. He says something about his parents because obviously he knows he has parents, but I don't know what Batman was thinking. But anyway, that's the way that scene was done. It was such a simple fix. The Martha thing, the Martha joke, that should have been an actual intended joke because all it should have been was let's see here. Let me try and think of like an improv way here. Like, he's got my mom, save her, okay? And wow, holy shit, you have a mom and you love your mom? Wow, I guess you're not crazy. Let me get my foot off your throat. Thanks, Batman. She's over at the warehouse. Lex has her. Okay, shit. Hey, what's your mom's name? Martha. I'm gonna save her. That's it. That's all I should have been, was the whole Martha thing. Let me show you this. What's your mom's name? Or no, let's see. Batman asks Superman, "What's your mom's name?" What's your mom's name? Martha. I'll save her. That's all you got. You like that robot voice, by the way? I practiced that one. Anyway, that whole scene just needed to be reworked. It totally makes sense. Like, there's reasons as to why it should have worked, okay? Lois Lane didn't have to step in, but for some reason she did. You don't have to have Lois Lane in there at all, okay? Instead of having Batman, why did you say Martha? Why did you say that name? And then Lois has to just pop out of nowhere saying, that's his mom's name. Oh, shit, no. You don't need that. That's bullshit, okay? Just, the idea is very good. The way they get that done, I'm okay with that. But just the way that they actually gave it to us, oh, so stupid. That's one of them. The second thing, it killed the entire movie. The death of Superman, that is something that you do not... Oh my fucking god. There's an animated movie with Superman. It's called The Death of Superman, and at the very beginning is the death of Superman, And I don't know. I've never read the comic. I've only seen the animated movie. It's like the animated styling of the old Justice League animated series. It has that look to it. It's like it's an exact replica of it, and so it's like that. And it showcases the death of Superman. And you find out that I don't want to spoil it, but it's not. It's not obviously it's not the death of Superman because he comes back, right? That was so much better, and you feel the impact of the death of Superman. You feel it, not just because of Metropolis, but also got Lois Lane. But the problem with that movie that I have is that I like that version of the death of Superman more than the one on Batman v Superman. I like that one more, and that shouldn't have happened. This is supposed to be like this. Batman v Superman is supposed to have a much more powerful scene for the death of Superman, and it didn't. It's like I almost didn't care because, especially at the end when they negated the whole fucking thing by showing the pebbles rise up. Fucking oh my god! So not only did you give us like a terrible rendition of the death of Superman, but you also just ruined it. Obviously, we knew he was going to come back, but still, it's not sequel bait. A movie is going to be a movie. That's what it has to be, especially for one that's trying to set up future sequels, let alone not just sequels, but an entire universe of other standalone movies, of other characters and shit. You don't try and like force everything, like all the sequel teasers into that movie. That's one of the biggest things. That's like the overall thing, the overall problem I had with the movie was that it tried to be like 5 different movies in one, and it did not work, okay? You have Batman's introduction. That was the good part of the movie. You have Batman v Superman. That was okay. You have the Wonder Woman, like, soft introduction, and she worked okay. I didn't hate her. She was just kind of there. Okay, that's fine. Then you have Dawn of Justice. The reason why people hate that scene in the movie when they show the Justice League members, like the Flash, Cyborg, Aquaman, and they already knew about Wonder Woman. The reason why people hated that was just because they're right. It's like an end credit scene. It's an after credit scene. That's when you do that. You don't do that in the middle of the movie. It's out of place. No one needs that. So there's that. The Dawn of Justice movie. And then you also have the Death of Superman movie. Okay? And on top of that, they also tried to make it a Man of Steel sequel in a way because they're following the events of Man of Steel, you know? It's like, it's probably more realistically 5 movies, but Man of Steel sequel could be up there. But, you know, the good parts of it were that it's a Batman v Superman movie, like the movie intended, for the most part. And then you got the Man of Steel, or the Batman introduction movie. Okay, those 2 worked fine. The rest of them could have been either, like, teased or just left out entirely, okay? The one I have the biggest problem with, it ain't the Justice League teasers in the movie. The one I have the biggest problem with is the death of Superman. That shit, it bothers me so much. Now, this isn't my own original idea, but I definitely, like, agree with this 100%, okay? It bothered me because the death of Superman, you used it in the second movie of this universe. It's the second movie. The first one was about Superman. That's what it was about. The second one was like barely about Superman. So one, we couldn't care about him enough because he wasn't developed as much in the movie, and it's not Henry Cavill's fault. It's the writer's fault for not making it a Batman and Superman movie. It was a Batman movie. Superman was just living in it. Okay, so you can't really care about him too much because he's not really developed any more than he was in Man of Steel. And on top of that, who knows about it? Who actually feels the death of Superman? Okay, so you got Batman, who up until right before the death of Superman fucking hated his guts. You have Wonder Woman, who just didn't know anything about anything, especially about Superman. You have Lois Lane, obviously, who loves him, but she was just kind of like, she was just there because Amy Adams, you know, that's why. And then you have all of Metropolis, and then you have all the people from Kansas, or was it Kansas? Smallville, wherever Smallville is. I think it's Kansas. Like, aside from the large-scale cities like Metropolis and kind of small-town-ish, or Smallville, no one knows about it. And the thing about Superman is people associate Superman with the Justice League, and the Justice League has a leader, Superman. So now, when the leader of the Justice League is already dead before the formation of the Justice League, well, what the fuck? You ruined any future possible ending with Superman in it. any good chance that Superman had at like a surprise ending for a movie, fucking gone. You can't do two deaths of Superman, okay? You can't do that. It's not right. And then, like, since you can't do that, let's say they didn't do it this time. You lose let's say, for example, they didn't kill Superman at the end of Batman v Superman. If they were to do it in the Justice League movie, whether or not Darkseid did it or they had Doomsday come back, we'll talk about this whole Doomsday coming back thing later. It's one of my suggestions, but let's say they managed to squeeze in the death of Superman in a Justice League movie, okay? Or fuck it, a Man of Steel sequel, anything but the second movie in the entire universe, anything but that movie, Batman v Superman. They squeezed it in somehow. Let's say the Justice League movie, the next Justice League movie, okay? Obviously, it'd be at the end of the movie. They all got to know each other. Superman was the one who founded the team along with Batman, and Wonder Woman helps maybe. Whatever the case is. But now everyone knows Superman. Everyone likes Superman because he's a stand-up guy. He's like, he's a really cool guy and all. Then you kill him, and now the members of the League, as they're fighting their big grand finale fight, they now feel it. They're like, oh shit. Like, one of our own is down. One man down. One of our... Superman, the leader, died. No one thought he could fucking die. No one thought he could die from, like, getting impaled. That's fine, doing it that way, but they did it too early. So now who gives a shit? Batman, who hated him right before then, and Wonder Woman, who doesn't fucking know him because she never really got to know him? That's it. The death of Superman bothered me so much in this movie. It was just... I really don't know what the hell they were thinking when they decided to shoehorn that in there. I really don't know. It did not work with the movie. Now, here's where my suggestion comes in, right? Doomsday. Now, I want to preface this whole suggestion, okay? Doomsday. I'm not gonna like say you have to be comic book accurate. That's not what I'm gonna say, okay? Because you have creative freedom when you're a writer of a movie. When the let's say DC, for this case, the publishers of the comics, they give you the okay to, within the bounds of good taste, they give you the okay to have creative freedom, okay? So that, like, let's say, for example, the TV shows, okay, like the Arrow and the Flash, you can have different relationships, let's just say, for example, because you have that creative freedom, okay? Same thing here. You don't have to follow the comic book script for script, or word for word, or panel by panel, page for page, whatever. But use the material for what you have, okay? The material is there, and you don't have to think much outside the box, okay? Anyone who shoehorns Doomsday into their movie, we all know who I'm talking about. Anyone who shoehorns Doomsday into the movie would know a little bit about Doomsday, right? They would know a little something about him. Now, I haven't read any comics. The most I know about Doomsday is like a couple of Justice League Unlimited episodes, the Death of Superman movie, the animated movie, and Watch Mojo's Supervillain Origins. That's all I know about Doomsday, okay? Doomsday is an evolving creature, so Doomsday theoretically can't be killed. So let's say they actually do manage to kill him, okay? He evolves, he comes back stronger. Like, they showed that adaptive evolution in the movie. That's why when Wonder Woman cut his hand off, he, instead of growing back a hand, he grew back spikes. That's also it's just their excuse to, instead of making him look like the Ninja Turtle, that's their way of, like, just, oh shit, they didn't like our spike, or like our lack of spikes. We gotta just put the spikes on there, you know? Anyway, let's say there's two possible scenarios that I think they should have worked with Doomsday, okay? One, cut him out of the movie entirely, okay? That way you can avoid the death of Superman, you can save it for a later day, and you have good material for, like, its own movie. The death of Superman can be its own movie if you really want it to be. Not saying it should for a live action movie, especially for the DC universe, but it could have been its own movie. It really could have been. But yeah, cut out Doomsday, and then you can do that later entirely. You skip out on Doomsday, you skip on the death of Superman, plain and simple. Or if they were to have Doomsday in there, because that means if they don't have Doomsday, they have to have some big villainy fight. I don't know who they would have done, but you know what? They should have thought about it a little bit more. They should have thought about that, okay? So let's say they kept Doomsday in because he's a good he's a good team up. So you need Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman to fight a big villain, especially when Superman is as powerful as he is. They need someone who can give Batman or Superman a challenge, right? So you have Doomsday. Let's say you keep Doomsday in. Kill him, send him off to space, find a way in a future movie to have him come back, maybe in the Man of Steel sequel. And now he's evolved. Okay, let's say he's been through some shit. Okay, now he's the more spiky version. Okay, then you can kill him off in a later movie. You can kill Superman off using Doomsday now that he's evolved. That's because this is Doomsday's birth. And obviously, Doomsday only grows stronger the more he evolves. The more time he dies, the more times he comes back stronger. So, given that this is the first time Doomsday comes on screen, it's his birth. We watched him be born on the movie screen. He's probably, yeah, he's Doomsday. He's strong and all, but he's weak. It's not his final form, for lack of a better phrase. And that's exactly what you need for saving the death of Superman, for not putting it in this movie. This whole solution revolves around the death of Superman. Okay, it really revolves around how much. What am I trying to say? They should have left it out. That would have, for me personally, that would have saved the movie. The Martha thing, all right, fine, whatever. I can let that slide. They needed a reason for them to team up. Fine, let that be poor writing. Let that just fine, just get it over with. Fuck. Why did you say that name? Martha. Okay, fine, just let it go. But then you have the death of Superman. That pisses me off entirely. Now, they've ruined any possible surprise ending with Superman. They'd be damn fools if they decide to put that in a movie again. They'd be damn fools. Like, people, they will get so much shit. You don't just get a second chance like that again until you reboot. You just don't get that, okay? Third suggestion, get rid of Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. I love Jesse Eisenberg, okay? He's a great actor, phenomenal actor. He's just not Lex Luthor-y. He's not intimidating at all. He's just not intimidating. One person that everyone thought off the top of their head was Bryan Cranston as Lex Luthor, okay? Now, I don't know what their plan is for Lex Luthor in the future. I have a feeling he'll come back during the Justice League movie. But they said that it was Lex Luthor Jr. that Jesse Eisenberg was. But they shaved his head, and that shaving the head is as little significance as it really holds. I feel like it was meant to imply that he is going to be your Lex Luthor. The one from the comics. They want you to just believe it. They want you to just believe that is Lex Luthor. For me, it ain't, okay? Everyone hated Lex in this movie. Just Jesse Eisenberg was just not, it's not right for him. Now, I'm not saying Lex or Jesse Eisenberg should have turned down the role, because fuck it, it's Hollywood, it's money. Who gives a shit? And I'm sure they had a good vision in mind, just didn't work out. It's not Lex. And a more intimidating Lex, like a Bryan Cranston, who was like a more sophisticated gentleman, who actually had the smarts, but not the like insanity that like the whole the insane Riddler type persona that Jesse Eisenberg's version had. One like who actually had a really, really good thought out plan with some integrity and class and some, what's the word, like kosher? No, that's not. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but like, you know what I mean, class, like a gentleman, like he knew what the fuck he was doing when he planned this against Superman. Okay. Jesse Eisenberg it wasn't right for him. It's not his role. The one I thought of was Bryan Cranston right away. But people are like, bring back the dude from Smallville, bring back Kevin Spacey, bring back the guy from the guy from the 70s version of Superman. I'm pretty sure he's dead. If not, he's very old, so that wouldn't work. Either Bryan Cranston, the guy from Smallville, Lex Luthor, or Kevin Spacey. Just Jesse Eisenberg, not Jesse. Just that simple, man. There was one more suggestion that was really bugging the shit out of me. I said I was going to keep this brief, but I can't help it. I'm ranty. The only thing that I could think of, the only other issue I thought of, I don't remember if this is exactly it, but there's just an issue with Superman in the movie, and I think that he needed like a better motivation to go after Batman. And like also equally, Batman at the end fight should have like listened to Superman. Does that make sense? The whole Martha thing could have been avoided. Now, granted, that doesn't make for a good action movie. That's fine. It's just people will be people. The most logical thing would have been Superman to say, let's say right before, when Batman says, "Well, here I am," and then Superman says, "Bruce, you have to listen to me." The one thing I think, he should have said right away was, "Lex has my mom, and he wants me to kill you, and I can't do that." Now, just talk it out like adults, but that obviously wouldn't have made for a better movie. But at the very least, like, I think it would have been better if Superman had said that, and then Batman like didn't believe him, and still had those traps going. I don't know, just like that's just kind of nitpicking, but just there's an issue with like the way Superman handled Batman. I don't know. It's just a lot of plot holes, but that's really it. Mostly the death of Superman just really pissed me the fuck off with the movie. Other than that, I still enjoyed it. It's not like it wasn't action packed, but when there was action, especially with Batman, oh fucking shit, am I right? It was. I enjoyed the movie. Okay, it's just the death of the way they ended it, and the way it tried to be like a billion different movies at once. Just it really killed it for me. But still, I enjoyed it. I think the movie. I think it deserves probably. I'm torn on. I'm gonna say a 7 out of 10. I was torn between 6.5 and 7, but like I enjoyed it more than I hated it. I just hated the ending. Sorry, for you guys, it's gonna be the. No, the ending's over here. Yeah, so because you go left to right, but for me it's right to left. Wait, this is left to right. Fuck, you know what I mean? The third act is what really killed it for me for this movie. Just they needed to rework that entire third act. It's not good. But that's it. I'm beating a dead horse now. Now, the reason why I did this was because Suicide Squad is coming out, and I'm going to watch that soon. I don't know when. It's probably going to be like next week, Tuesday or something. But I'm going to review that. And I want to see what all these negative reviews are about. Now, don't listen to the reviews. Don't listen to the critics. Go see the movie yourself. And if you like it, then fuck the critics. Simple as that. If you don't like my opinion whenever I review it, then just say fuck you to me, Just go get your own opinion. That's what movies are about. It's enjoyment, okay? It's whatever you thought of the movie. Now, also the fact of how much money it makes. There's that whole aspect of it. But when that movie comes out, I'm gonna give my opinion on it in the form of a movie review. That one will be the first half, not spoilers. The second half, spoilers. This one was just all spoilers because it's old now. It's kind of an old movie. That's all I have to say. I look forward to seeing you guys probably for the Suicide Squad movie review, and yeah, I'll probably see you then. Thanks for watching.